In life, there are those special days. You know, those ones you'll never forget. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. We'd prefer to forget this week. It's going to be expensive and there are going to be boat jobs. What are you doing?
Trying to fix the boat.
We've finally arrived to the Australian Whitsundays and we've just pulled into the biggest marina in the area because we have a heap of jobs to get done on our home Takana. It's not going to be cheap, and for our first task, we need the bow facing in.
Appalachian sunlight meets my...
So for the past 3 weeks that we've actually been using the anchor, I've been at the front here just guesstimating how much we're putting out. But we want a more accurate figure, so we're measuring the chain.
We're just going to mark the chain so that when you're standing here, you can just count the little cable ties.
Yeah, we will eventually have the proper chain counter, but in the meantime, keep on pulling, John, there's heaps. In the meantime, we're just going to mark the chain just with some cable ties. Every 10 metres, we're threading a coloured cable tie through one of the links.
So if I go
Like
red, green, yellow, red, green.
But you can go like green at the start when you're good, and then yellow, and then red when you're like, oh crap, there's not much anchor chain left.
Green, yeah.
Do we have enough?
I have to cut these off.
I mean, we
I'll
can
go red,
be...
green.
You're just going to stuff with me, aren't you? You're just going to like go red, green, yellow, red, green or something.
Or maybe like red means like you haven't got enough out. And yellow means you sort of got enough out, and green means you have enough out.
Oh, that's very true. Okay, so I've been guessing that there's been about 40 metres in there, but I reckon looking at it down there, it looks like there's a bit more.
It's 50 metres.
50!
Guys in the shop reckon 70 is the right number.
70 metres. What, just for Queensland?
For around here, and then they reckon 70 plus 30 metres of rope.
The other day we learnt the hard way. We haven't anchored in very deep water before, but we were in about 17 metres of water and we put out every single last centimetre of chain, and when we reversed back on the chain it was dragging. It's probably why the guys here say that you need a lot more anchor chain, but we're really lucky we only had like 3 or 4 knots of breeze. We just took a punt and put our anchor alarm on and got up throughout the night, and yeah, we didn't drag at all, we just stayed put, so we were lucky that time, but maybe we should get some more chain. If you are keen on learning more about anchoring though, I'm putting out a special episode this weekend. John and I have a bit of a sit-down chat about the ideal scope required and what's worked for us. Everyone's sort of telling us that we should have more in the Whitsundays.
Oh, it depends where you go.
There is a lot to do. Time is money, literally here at the Airlie Beach Marina. It is $130 a night. What do you think of the marina?
Good facilities. They're not as relaxed as a lot of the other marinas where they're sort of like, oh, it doesn't matter what time you arrive, it doesn't matter what time you leave. Here it's sort of like check-ins at 12, you're out by 11, you know, you need a booking to fuel up. It's just because they're so busy really. So they run a pretty tight ship, but yeah, the facilities are all pretty good, pretty modern. Yeah, it's hard to get the cars though, isn't it? Because it's so busy, the courtesy cars. Other than that, there's a lot of good stuff nearby. There's like good chandlery, all the services are there, and there's a bus that stops right out the front of the marina.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting
This is the current situation in the kitchen. Again, we've done a massive provision, plenty of amazing fruit and veggies. The freezer just isn't freezing. So we ended up calling out a technician to look at the freezer, but he couldn't find the leak, so he just regassed it. We're not really sure what to do. We got to monitor it this time and see what happens. Oh, and I've got a heap of washing on. I just remembered I've got 3 loads. It's $5 every single load. One of them didn't wring my clothes out, so I had to put that one in again. And this lady felt sorry for me and she found $2 on the floor, so she put her $2 towards one of the loads. Thank you. Technically 4 loads of washing, and then I've had to put them each in dryers. I don't know, I've probably spent like 30, 40 bucks on washing our clothes. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, I'm gonna walk and talk. I'm gonna go and get the washing out of the dryer.
Why is it hard on my own?
Personally, I don't like using dryers from an environmental point of view. I'd much prefer to use our lifelines as a clothesline. But most marinas here don't allow it because it's an eyesore. There is a lot of money here. Last night we were walking along the boardwalk. I felt we were in Monaco. Honestly, it felt like Monaco. It's just, yeah, absolutely stunning. The fingers go on, and so we've been getting inspiration from other boats. This is the same as our boat, Sun Odyssey, and John and I were really admiring the Bimini, the Dodger, the Phil in the middle. If this is your boat, we love it, and we hope that when we get a new Dodger and Bimini, we're going to sort of like try and replicate it, obviously in like a navy blue color. What do you guys think? We got quoted, I think it was $7,000 for a new Bimini and Dodger, but that was to keep our stainless. But I think John wants to get a whole new arch made up. And while I was folding the clothes, John was determined to find that gas leak, preventing our freezer from working. You just found the leak to our freezer!
Yep, it's been regassed twice, and both times the fridge techs couldn't find the leak. But yeah, I suppose we're just a little more desperate and a little bit more persistent.
And so we alerted the technician, who had spent about an hour trying to find that leak.
Send him this, look.
Oh, that's crazy, isn't it?
It's coming out pretty fast. Maybe just whack a bit of tape.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he'll be able to help us. It was extremely frustrating. The technician was apologetic, but this was the second professional who couldn't find the leak. They charged us for their labour, which is fair enough, but they also quoted us for a new system that was going to cost us thousands. If that's the cause, that saved us $1,900.
Yeah, that is the cause.
It was a small win, so we celebrated. Today is a good day. We've just been shopping. I got myself a small bait board, which means I don't have to cut on a piece of plastic and paper towel any longer. And we also got a blender because it's getting really warm up here. Gonna make some delicious acai bowls.
Some MC4 adapters, some crimps, and some coax cable adapters. Yeah.
It's been a great day shopping. What is all that stuff?
Yeah, you know, it's boat stuff.
Boat stuff. So all up, how much did we spend? $260 on marina fees, $550 on groceries that should last us 2 to 3 weeks, $165 on the freezer, $35 on washing, $90 on coax cables, the blender and bait board. Hey! So all up, that's more than $1,000. Yikes.
It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep.
The marina, Coral Sea Marina, Tucano.
I'm thinking about the days we used to shine when we were young.
It feels good to be leaving land because wallets are useless out on the water.
It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep. I'm just not tired. I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside.
We're sailing 15 nautical miles to a popular anchorage called Sid Harbour. You may have heard of it and the shark attacks that have unfolded here over the years, but it's actually going to be the perfect spot for us to seek protection from strong winds that are forecast this afternoon. Plus, we really want to conquer an incredible hike we've heard so much about. Woo! It's called Whitsunday Peak, and we can't wait to take you up there.
We were such a constellation, right? No, you don't.
But let's get there first.
John, look at the line.
Once the sails were sorted, we started to troll when a vessel called us on the radio telling us they were going to pass us at close range.
You better be quick. Oh my god.
See, it wouldn't have been a problem. You must have seen me wanting it in a hurry.
Oh, that's so funny. We've actually never had that before. What did he do, John?
Oh, he just called us to tell us he was going to pass behind us.
How nice is that? I thought it was really kind of him to do that. Anyway, he reached out to us and said that he was going to...
Reached out to us on Instagram.
He reached out to us and said...
He called us on the radio.
Oh my, I'm not, can I just finish? He called us up on the radio and said he was going to be crossing our path closely. That's all I wanted to
Lucky
say.
that AIS, which hasn't worked for the last 2 weeks, just miraculously started to work about 20 minutes ago. That's why he could call us.
How do we even troubleshoot something like that when it's so intermittent?
Yeah, I know. Oh, we're trying. Going pretty slow now. I might just bear away.
So this is 27. Doesn't matter what I've been through. I should go out too, but I still have to.
We are creating a makeshift mid-sheet out of some old canvas that was left on board because it is so sunny and we've been out in the elements all day. We actually want to get a proper one done, but unfortunately there's like a 6-week lead time for everyone along the coast and we just can't wait for them. And we've also been quoted $7,000.
Yeah, just for the canvas, no stainless work.
But we will get to it. It's just that all these things take time and money. So what do you want to do? Up here? Pull it back.
Yeah.
I need to take this off then. John is hating every second of this.
Yeah, that's my OCD because it's epoxy.
It actually is amazing.
But the proper ones that I wanted to get would have sides as well. So you've got all the suns there. I'll just put that side down and leave this open.
Yeah. It's gonna blow 20 knots tonight, so. All right, well that was fun. Should we take it down? Our costs are high at the moment, so until we're able to buy a new Bimini and Dodger for some sun protection, this will just have to do. That is amazing. Perfect.
It's pretty epoxy. Yeah, it's great.
I set the world on fire just to get it back. I don't know how it feels to be someone you love, and it gets me down.
So we've made a beautiful salad. They smell so good. I'm loving this setup. This is great.
What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder.
Our floating home Tucana was born in 2008. She was named after a constellation of stars in the southern sky, the Toucan. We were told she was raised for most of her life in Adelaide, which is actually, believe it or not, where John and I met as teenagers. How crazy is that? Anyway, so we want to live on a safe boat that's fully maintained, so that's why we're investing in her and showing her so much love. There's always another project with you, isn't there, babe?
Always.
What is it this time?
This time.
On John's special project.
Yeah, replacing the winch buttons. The little plastic cover on the winch button has become perished just from being in the sun and people pressing it. This is the winch that probably gets used the most, so the button's worn out and it was sticking on. So what was happening is when it got wet and you push it in, it would create a little vacuum and it wouldn't pop back up, so the winch would keep spinning. Worst case scenario, I suppose, would be taking someone up in the bosun's chair. You can't stop the winch, it just keeps running.
That would be brutal.
Yeah.
And how expensive were they though? Just for that little piece of plastic?
Each switch is like 110 bucks or something.
220 bucks, those two little bloody buttons.
Yep. It's nothing like new buttons. Right? So I've got to just unclip them from here and just put the new ones into the solenoid, seal them up and stick them on.
I feel like you're the reason why we are running out of money.
Pretty sweet boat once it's done.
Trying to get some work done. You'd think that noise. What are you doing?
Trying to fix the boat.
So as you can see, there's always something to do on the boat. I just wanted to give you guys an update on where we are right now and what's going on. I'm currently in Melbourne. I have been here for the last couple of weeks. If you've been following our stories on Instagram, reporting at the Australian Open. This has been my first job since April last year, and it was an absolutely phenomenal experience with Rafa winning the tournament over the weekend. What an epic way to wrap up these couple of weeks. I'm about to get on a plane though and head back up to Queensland to get back on Takana to continue our incredible journey. But I just wanted to update you as well. There's been a couple of incredible things that have happened this week. I was on a podcast on Real Adventures, which was really awesome. I'm going to add the link down in the description below if you want to listen to that one. And we're also in a magazine article, so make sure you check out the description if you want to watch and look at that article as well. Anyway, I hope you all are doing really, really well. This was the longest amount of time I've spent away from John in approximately 9 months. We obviously have been in really close proximity to one another since April last year, and it was really weird, quite bizarre to be in a hotel. So back on the boat tonight, and can't wait to see you guys next week when we continue our epic journey north. Coming up next, I take you to the top of the Whitsundays, and John takes you to the top of Takana for the very first time.
Oh, then you think,
Is your heart pounding?
check of the head sail, we've got a few problems, just doesn't seem to be unfurling as it should.
And of course, a massive thank you to our Patreons who are always in the know first. And make sure you hit that subscribe button here if you're new.